Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about Family Guy Season 1, Episode 7, called Brian, Portrait of a Dog. In this story, Brian gets entered into a dog show to win some money, but things quickly turn into a fight about respect, family, and how people treat him. Let's go through it step by step. It's a super hot day in Quahog. The Griffin's air conditioner is broken, and everyone is sweating. Peter hears about a dog show that has a $500 prize, enough money to buy a new AC. He asks Brian to enter, but Brian doesn't want to. Peter convinces him anyway. At the dog show, Brian does well at first, but when Peter tells him to balance a biscuit on his nose and beg, Brian feels insulted. He doesn't want to be treated like a trick dog. Angry, he walks out. On the way home, Peter and Brian argue, and Peter says Brian used to be a stray. That hurts Brian's feelings. He jumps out of the car and leaves. Brian wanders around town. Soon, a policeman gives him a ticket for not having a license or leash. Peter has to pay the fine, and things between them get worse. Brian starts noticing that people treat him badly because he's a dog, even though he can talk. A man kicks him out of a restaurant, and he's told not to drink from a public water fountain. Brian feels like no one respects him. At home, Peter brings in a cat to replace Brian, but the cat is mean and attacks the family. Everyone misses Brian, and Peter decides to find him. Meanwhile, Brian is having a tough time. He gets into a fight with a man who was rude to him, and the police arrest him. He's taken to the pound, and they say he will be put to sleep. The family is shocked and tries to save him. Peter begs for time so they can appeal. Brian studies the law and speaks for himself in court. He says he deserves to be treated fairly, just like humans. He even talks about a famous case from history about equal rights. But the council says, "You're a dog, not a person," and they still want to put him down. Right before it happens, Peter stands up and tells the council how important Brian is to their family. Then, in a funny twist, he bribes each council member with $20. It works! Brian is free. People start treating him with more respect. In one nice moment, Brian is allowed to drink from a public fountain without being chased away. The episode ends back at home. Stewie, who usually acts tough, bows to Brian to show respect. Brian licks Peter as a thank you, but quickly says, "Don't tell anyone about that." It's a funny and sweet ending. This episode isn't just about laughs, it's also about respect. Brian doesn't want to be treated like he's less important because he's a dog. The show uses comedy to talk about real-life issues like equality and dignity. By the end, the Griffins understand how much Brian means to them. That's the story of Family Guy Season 1, Episode 7, Brian, Portrait of a Dog. A mix of comedy, emotion, and a little life lesson. If you like this recap, hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss the next episode breakdown. Thanks for watching!